Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Now I have a question for you. Do you guys believe in past life? We're gonna be talking everything about past life. We're gonna talk about what is past life regression. Can we remember some of our past lives? And there's actually a lot of famous stories, especially kids who remember the past life to detail. There's actually a lot of K-pop celebrities who have done these past life regressions, which is like a hypnosis therapy where they're actually able to tap into your mind to remember your past lives. It is super strange, super creepy, and this is something that I recently got into. And at the end of the video, I want to ask you guys, have you guys ever remembered your past life or know anyone? Put it down on the comments down below because I would love to read them. To get into today's mystical vibe, you guys know that I always have my mystical accessories and even my horoscope accessories. I am a Gemini. So if you guys do want to check out these mystical accessories, it's down in the link up below. So past life talk has been so debated throughout the years, and there's a lot of people who don't believe it, but there's also a lot of people who do believe it. I believe, but don't quote me on it, but a lot of the religions that are here on earth usually believes in reincarnation, which is basically past life where you're reborn again and again. There's people who believe that birthmarks are related to your past life, such as I believe there was someone that was born with like a birthmark on their forehead or on the back of their neck. That usually has to do with the way you died in your past life. The only birthmark that I have, which is not a birthmark, but it's like a birth vein. Basically, it's like vein that was like munched up together when you were born. So maybe in my past life, someone hurt me right here? I don't know. Now, past life memories could come in many different ways, and usually the first one is remembering it when you were a child. Such as past life could come in your dreams, especially when you have like multiple dreams and it feels very real and very different than your other dreams that you have. There's also a lot of times where kids will like blab about things that they were never taught, were never seen on TV, and that is what we will get into some of the kids who remember the past lives. Number two, if you want to remember your past life, you can do something called past life regression, which is the hypnosis therapy. Basically, it's where a professional hypnotizes you and they instruct you in how to remember your past life. So in these past life regressions, it doesn't take you to all your past lives because you could have lived like 1,000 times. It usually takes you back to the most significant past life. A lot of people love to do this because it's supposed to be a really healing therapy session. Sometimes people who really need an answer in their lives, such as like why you're going through certain things in your life, why you have certain personalities. In a lot of these past life regression videos, there's people who go through like really hard times in their past life. People who were like animals and bugs in their past lives. Yes, that does actually happen. Especially people aka souls who have unfinished business in their past life. Usually it gets carried to your current life. Also, in these past life regressions, who you come across in this life is most likely people from your past life. And it basically proves that everyone is connected and it is possible to meet the same souls again in your next life. Where this YouTuber was seeing herself take the last breath from her past life, and there was a friend, a best friend next to her, and she realized that this friend in her past life was actually one of her real best friends in this life. A lot of people say, well, this could be fake, this could be you just dreaming and making things up in your head. But in this past life hypnosis status, you're basically saying things subconsciously. There's actually Idol Monster X who did this past life regression, and there's this one member who said that he remembers as himself being a tiger trapped in a circus and that he was being abused. Another famous Korean athlete, he said that he remembers being an eagle and that he was looking for food for his little eagle babies, and that he actually died by being haunted. A human hunter actually shot him down. He actually started crying, and he said that he actually felt physical pain like in his chest where he was shot down in his past life. Another YouTuber, she says that she remembers being a butterfly and that she felt super free and that she felt the wind being physically blown to her while she was in this hypnosis status. Now I'm gonna be talking about two past life children. Today I'm gonna be talking about one Korean child that remembers his past life and one child that is from Scotland. So first let's talk about Cameron Macaulay. This was one of the most famous stories out there. You guys can see the documentary, I'll link it down below. He's a boy who lives in Scotland, Glasgow. This documentary was filmed actually pretty long ago, so he should be like 17, 18 by now. And his mother says since the age of 2, he kept talking about his previous life life on the island of Barrow, which is west coast of Scotland, 200 miles away. And of course, his mother says he would never know these details because they never showed this on TV or never talked to him about a certain island called Barrow. He would see details such as a white house that overlooked the sea and the beach, and he went on to explain how there were airplanes that used to land on the beach, and also that he was very fond of a black and white dog he had while he was there. He said that his dad's name was Shane Robertson, who died by a car, and he even said he didn't look both ways. He talked about his parents and how he had 3 toilets in his house. He even drew his past life memories, and it was always on a beach. His current mother would say that he would get more and more upset, and he would always say that he wants to go visit his past life Barrow mother. So they were actually able to document this. So with the film documentary, they traveled to the island of Barrow. They actually were able to find the exact house and the Robertsons family that he was always talking about. The Robertsons family, or the descendants that are living now, they were able to pull out some pictures, and the boy was right. There was actually a car that he was always talking about. The dog was black and white, but the only thing was that the family was saying that there's no one that they knew by the name Shane Robertson. Now his current mother says that as Cameron was getting older and older, he started losing memories of the Barrow story, which is very common as children get older. They kind of stop talking about their past lives. One last thing that the boy Cameron mentioned was that when he was talking to his friend, he said, "Don't worry about dying. You just come back again." Ooh, creepy. Now we're going to be talking about a Korean boy who remembers his past life. This documentary was filmed a long time ago, so he is actually 43 today, but when this was filmed, he was 16 years old. Now his parents says ever since that he was the age of 5, he was able to speak 7 languages fluently without having anyone teach him. His parents claim that he did not learn them, and also his neighbors and his extended family also confirms that the family wasn't well enough at all, especially back in the 90s, and there was no way that they were even able to pay him to even learn these languages at all. The languages that he just apparently knew, of course, Korean, Chinese, English, Japanese, German, Spanish, and Russian. He was able to speak, read, and write them fluently. So when people would ask him, "How do you know these languages? How do you know these languages?" And he would always say, "I just knew them since I was born." I mean, whatever that means. Experts even tested the boy in his languages, especially Japanese and Chinese. The experts would say his language skills are as of a high schooler. You would have to actually graduate school in order to be on his level. He is actually also known to be mental arithmetic. These are people who are able to do crazy math without a calculator. It literally takes them less than 5 seconds to do this math problems in their head only. He also has the amazing ability to remember the exact day of any year. For example, if you say December 1st, 1983, what day was that? He would be like, "Oh, that's Monday. Oh, that's Tuesday." He says that it just pops up as images in his head and he did not memorize it. Now, one thing that a lot of people ask is, why did you not go into college or try to develop your genius skills? And he says that he deals with disabilities and that he grew up with financial struggles in his family and he was never able to really get a college education. Today, he's 43 years old and he says he could speak 20 languages fluently. Hello? 20 languages, not 20 languages. And to be honest, the fact that he's 43 now and that not a lot of people are recognizing his genius abilities, this is crazy. Now there are some explanations of how and why he could speak these languages fluently since the day he was born. The number one explanation is past life, that he was a Chinese person in his past life, he was an English person, Japanese, German, Spanish, Russian. He was all different nations in his past life, and basically these skills from his past life carried on to his current life. He just never forgot them. Other than the past life theory, there's no explanation of how this boy or how certain people could have these kind of amazing abilities since they were very young, like a young child. Alright, so now it's time to talk about if I remember my own past life. Now I do want to talk about certain things that came up since I was a child, but I cannot confirm or say that this was my past life at all. But I do want to say that since I was growing up, I had these visions, but I remember certain visions at certain houses of places that I've never been to. When I was a child, it was in elementary school, I went to my cousin's house in a different state. I even remember how the stairs looked like, how the tile floors looked like. It was black and white tile floors. I remember there's different houses, older, Renaissance, European looking vibe. And I remember when I grew up and I became a middle school student, we went back to my cousin's house and it was nothing like what it was in my vision. And I even asked them, hey, is this the same house we went to like a couple years ago when I was a child? And they said, yeah, this is the same house. Crazy thing is, I did not remember anything from their like old house except the one in my vision. The one that I knew and was certain that this was the house, it turned out to be completely different. Like I visited like a parallel world or something. Like this was crazy, mind-blowing. And I just have an eerie deja vu vibe with like certain visions that I remember, certain houses that I remember. And maybe that was actually from my past life. Of course, I won't know that until I possibly try a past life regression therapy, but I did hear those are very expensive. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to try it anytime soon. But any one of you guys that remember your past life, anyone that you know have gone through a past life regression hypnosis therapies, any specific memories and visions that you cannot get out of your head, please comment down below what your thoughts were, what your past lives were. I would love to read every single one of your interesting comments down below, and let's just have a discussion. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Remember to like this video, it really helps me out a lot. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because I reply to all my early birds. See you guys on my next video. Bye!